Once upon a time, in a field full of colorful flowers, there lived a colony of busy bees. Among them, there was a tiny bee whose name was Bella. Now, Bella was smaller than your pinky finger, but what she lacked in size, she made up for in heart. Now, one day as Bella was flying past an oak tree, she heard a strange sound. It was a sound that made her want to stop and take a closer look. Tap, 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 it went. And as Bella peered over the bark, she saw something that made her eyes pop out. There, in a small hole in the trunk of the tree, sat a little bird, tapping its beak against the wood. "What are you doing?" Bella asked curiously. "I'm trying to build a house," the bird said, "but this wood is so hard. It's taking me ages." "Oh, that's easy," said Bella, who was a bit of a know-it-all. "Just find some soft wood to make a nest in. These old trees are perfect." Good idea," the bird replied, and he flew off to find some softer wood. And as soon as he left, Bella flew into the hole in the oak tree and started tapping the wood with her little feet. Tap, 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 she went, humming a happy tune. "This will be a fine house," she said to herself, "stronger than a castle and twice as tall. I'll invite my sisters to live here, and we'll make lots of sweet honey to eat." But as she tapped, she began to realize that making a house was harder than it looked. The wood was tough, and her little feet were sore. And as the sun began to set, she knew she would never finish building a house in time to live in it before winter. So Bella flew back to her hive, where her sisters were already snuggled up together. Sharing stories about their day, Bella told them about the bird and the house, and all the bees laughed and buzzed in delight. "Why would you want to build a house when we already have one?" asked one of Bella's sisters. "Besides," she added, "our house isn't just a house. It's a hive, and it's the best place in the world to live because we built it together as a team. It's strong and warm, and when winter comes, we can huddle together and share our honey. That's the best part." The next morning, Bella woke up feeling very happy. She remembered how wonderful it was to live in a hive with her family, and as she flew around the hive, helping her sisters collect nectar from the flowers, she couldn't help but hum a little tune. Meanwhile, the bird was working hard on his new house, but no matter how much work he did, it was never enough. One day, while he was gathering twigs for his nest, he saw Bella flying by. "Hey, little bee," he called, "do you know how to make a house? Because I've been at it for ages, and I'm not even halfway done." Bella smiled and buzzed a little. "Making a house isn't about how big or strong it is, or how many rooms it has," she said. "It's about who you share it with. If you're lucky enough to have a family who loves you, then you already have the best house in the world." Then Bella zipped over to a patch of sunflowers and got to work collecting pollen. As the days went by, the bird finished his house and moved right in. But every time he looked around, he felt sad. He had a nice house, but he didn't have anyone to share it with. So one day, he decided to go find some friends. When he returned to the sunflower patch, he found Bella and her bee sisters. "Hello," he said shyly. "Would you like to come over to my house and be my friends?" The bees looked at each other and then back at the bird. "That sounds like a great idea," said one of the bees. "We'd love to be your friends. But our home isn't just a house. It's a hive, and we can't leave it. You see, a hive isn't just a place to lay our heads. It's everything to us. It's where we raise our young, store our food, and keep safe from harm. Besides, our home isn't about how big or fancy it is. It's about who we share it with. And we couldn't imagine a better place to live than with our family and friends." Then the bees and the bird all flew off to find some sweet nectar, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Moral of the story: it's not where you live, but who you live with that makes a house a home.